How much does ad blocking speed up the web experience? Today we're going to run a test, and we're going to go to a website with no ad blocker installed, and then we're going to turn on ad blocker, and we're going to see just how fast it gets. Alright, so I've been in the digital ad industry for almost 20 years now, and somehow I've avoided using ad blockers this entire time. Now I know that might be shocking to some of you because maybe you were born with an ad blocker turned on, right? You don't even know what are these digital ad things you're talking about. You live, breathe, and eat ad blocking, if it's even possible to breathe and eat ad blocking. Now, personally, I haven't used ad blockers kind of for two reasons. One, I work in the digital ad industry, and I don't want to be hypocritical, blocking ads, but then selling them and serving them elsewhere. But I'll also give you the digital ad pitch, right? I do see digital advertising as being a vital part of the internet economy. It's how many publishers make 100% of their revenue. It's how they support their business. It's how they continue to put out content and products and hire and support their staff. Publishers need ad revenue to survive. So I do think that's very important, and I want to continue to support that internet economy. Now, I'm sure you're all with me on that one, right? Right? Anybody? Hello? So that is part of the reason. But then part of me hasn't used ad blocker because what if I love it? What if I become hooked on the experience of no ads running, right? And it's so fast and speedy, and I'm just zipping around from website to website, and I never go back to that ad world again, and I'm no longer supporting the websites and apps that I love. But hey, YOLO, we're going to turn on some ad blocking, and we're going to give this a shot. So let's go. KnowYourMeme.com. And we'll also start a timer. All right, so things initially pop in pretty quick. All right, this is going a little bit faster than expected. Still clearly waiting for some content, maybe an ad here in this middle space. Something's loading here on the side. We at least have our first meme kind of popping in. But we can see the wheels thinking up on the browser tab. Things are still kind of loading in. If I scroll, it's definitely a little jerky. It's pausing. It's taking a while. So what we'll do is we'll play around on the home page here for a little bit, see how long this takes us. We're at 38 seconds right now while we're still waiting on some things to load. Looks like this is an ad. The ad itself hasn't come in yet. Also, it looks like we are getting some kind of sticky footer ad here at the bottom. That's definitely taking a while to load. Now, of course, this test will look different on everybody's computer. Some computers are faster than others. Some internet connections are going to be faster than others. But I'd like to think of mine as probably an average setup here. But feel free to run the test on your own and let us know in the comments. You can see we're at a minute 13, and I can definitely hear the fan on my computer going. And we're still waiting on this ad. We're still waiting on our footer ad. If I scroll up, whatever is coming up here, looks like this is an ad that's still waiting. So pretty wild that we're at a minute 30 and this stuff is still just kind of chugging along. So let's scroll down. Well, I guess we'll come back up. There we go. We finally got our ad. SEMrush. Okay, well, it's quite possible that I would have scrolled past this and never seen their ad. Although it is kind of nice, I'll say they've got a sticky ad placement, maybe. Yep. So now that we scroll down, the ad is continuing to appear. Looks like they have some additional placements in here as well. But we can see we are well past 2 minutes and things are still going pretty slow. So not great. All right, well, let's go ahead and just cut it off here. And we'll just try clicking on a link real quick as well. So let's see what that experience looks like. So I'm trying to click. Looks like because things are still loading and I'm in the process of scrolling, it's not really letting me click. There we go. Okay. So I think it registered my click, but that can always be an issue where you click on something, you want to go to an article and you're not quite sure. Did the site recognize that I clicked on that? And we didn't even start our timer, but this looks now like the wheel is almost not even moving. Ads are still low. This is not great. This is not really a fun process. You know, at this point, I would probably have closed out unless I really need to see what this meme's all about. All right, not going to comment on the the material here. Okay, so let's see. All right, so I'm going to guess there's probably an ad that's supposed to come in at the top here, but that's taking quite some time. Scrolling down, all this content on the right-hand side. You know, at this point, the user is probably going to think, well, I'm not even going to bother looking over here on the right-hand side. Maybe you're reading the article, but you've already assumed what's on the right-hand side is probably going to be some ads or something that's not really worth my time. We get a little video popping in here in the lower right-hand corner. What's that? Is that going to autoplay sound? That might be an annoyance I have to deal with in the next 30 seconds whenever this decides to load and start playing. Okay, well, this gives us a feel for what a website looks like that has a lot of content, potentially a lot of ads. And also, if we take a look here, we can see Ghostery is telling us there's 49 trackers already. I've clicked on it. It hasn't loaded up yet, but we'll happily show that to you when that finally does pop up. All right, so our Ghostery pop-up finally shows up here. We are at 73 trackers and counting. You can see while the page is still loading, the number of trackers also continues to increase as potentially more ad calls are being made. So who knows what that final count's going to come in at. We probably won't stick around for it. We can see we got a lot of the usual suspects here: Media Math, Trade Desk, Yahoo, AppNexus, Quantcast. Obviously, this site, Know Your Meme, many people know the site. It's a big site, so it would make sense that most of your major ad players are going to show up here. But making a call to each of these services or trackers or ad partners is going to further slow things down. So got a lot of content, a lot of ads, a lot of ad calls being made. All of this is combining into a pretty slow experience. Okay, so that's all the normal website surfing experience. Ad blocker off, all of that good stuff. Now let's take a look at it with some ad blocker turned on. All right, so I reloaded the site and we are at 56 trackers this time and counting. And what we're going to do is we are going to turn on all of Ghostery's blocking features. So they have this one, anti-tracking is now turned on. Personal data will be anonymized. Let's see, we'll turn this one on. Ad blocking is now on, so ads will be blocked. And then we'll turn this one on. Smart browsing on. Tracker blocking will be adjusted to optimize page performance. Okay. So we have those turned on. This is going to be our ad blocker for this test today, Ghostery's ad blocker. Now there's many ad blockers out there. I don't know the difference between all of them. I don't know which one's best. Perhaps there's one that's even better than Ghostery's ad blocker. Feel free to let us know in the comments, but we're going to give this one a shot, okay? So what I will do is we will actually delete our cached images just to make sure we are doing a fair test here. So let's go ahead and clear browsing data. Cached images and browsing history for the last 24 hours. And here we go. Okay, that was definitely a bit quicker. We did see a similar experience initially upon load, and then it was when things started to break down before. But we can see we got these images in here much faster. So now scrolling down, this stuff's in here much faster. We are still seeing a little bit of jerky scrolling, but it's definitely looking improved. And we're only at 30 seconds. Now we are still getting this footer appearing here at the bottom, which we never got to see fully load last time. So I am curious if this is an ad that will somehow be bypassing the ad blocking, or if this footer is something else. We'll see if this mysterious footer ever shows up. But that aside, okay, we're at 50 seconds. It's definitely not the fastest, friendliest experience you would want, but I would say we are significantly improved. We were well over 2 minutes last time. We were still waiting for some ads to load. Things were still very kind of jerky, and this is definitely feeling a lot better. Okay, so let's. It is interesting that it's still a bit slow. I thought we'd be a little bit faster here with ad block, but yeah, there's definitely improvement on the quality of life. Now we'll go ahead and click on our favorite Nintendo article again, and let's see what happens here. We'll stop our timer too. That's where we stopped it last time. All right, so this is definitely quicker. Definitely getting these images popping in here faster. And maybe now, because things are loading a little bit faster, you might be a little more likely to actually take a look and see what's going on the right-hand side versus just assuming, oh, it's part of the ad experience, everything's moving slow, I'm just not going to be able to see it. Interestingly, if we look in the lower left-hand corner, it says it's waiting for a ADNXS App Nexus. So there is still some kind of ad call happening. Maybe that's what's happening at our footer. So we haven't blocked all of our ad calls, I guess. Let's see what's going on here with Ghostery. We still have our 3 services turned on, but let's go ahead and try blocking all trackers. So let's try that. Let's try reloading. Let's see what happens now. Okay. Seems even faster. All right, so we're definitely up faster now. Now we have the whole article, and we can scroll almost smoothly enough to read the article without jerkiness. We still have a little bit of jerkiness. Technical term. Okay, well, this definitely looks and feels better. We don't have this footer kind of hanging out, waiting for something to happen. We don't have this call happening in the lower left-hand corner. We do still have some Ghostery activity showing up here. It says number 15, so let's see what's still squeaking through. Hard to tell, but I think we're blocking everything. So this might be as good as it's going to get. And let's just, for good measure, go back to this homepage one more time. Now that we've got our trackers blocked, are we moving even faster? I think so. Definite improvement. So it is interesting to note that the site's definitely faster with ad blocking features turned on, but we can see it's still not perfect, right? So it's not just ads, it's not just ad trackers that can slow down a site. There's a lot that goes into website design, image compression, user features, smart loading, lazy loading, those kinds of things. Can all be better for the user experience. So it feels like this site, not just to be picking on Know Your Meme, could probably do a little bit more to speed things up for the user. All right, to wrap it all up, we did see a noticeable difference with ad blocker versus no ad blocker. First up in our test, on the homepage, we didn't see all of the content load, including that very big ad, until about 1 minute and 40 seconds in. When we cleared our cache and refreshed the page with ad blocker turned on, we saw a much speedier experience. We saw pretty much all of the above the fold content load at the 11-second mark. And then when we scrolled down a bit, all of the content was in there at 30 seconds, significantly faster than the 1:40 that we saw with ad blocker not turned on. Then we tried running the test by clicking on a link on that homepage. With no ad blocker turned on, when we clicked on that link, we saw a white screen and nothing came in for the first 34 seconds. Text finally started appearing at the 36-second mark, and then we started seeing images and most of the content appear above the fold at 40 seconds. Once we turned on ad blocker and clicked on that same link, instead of waiting 34 seconds staring at a blank white screen, We saw content appear at 4 seconds. 4! Most text was there at 4 seconds. We saw pretty much all of the above the fold content appear within 8 seconds. So I would call that a blazing improvement. So, am I now totally hooked on ad blocking? It is very tempting, not gonna lie. But I'm gonna stay strong. I'm gonna keep fighting the good fight. We can do better. Advertising can and should still be able to support a free internet and provide publishers much needed revenue to support their business and continue to create free content that we love. We can help brands connect with consumers. We can create a faster, speedier experience that's clutter-free. So, ad industry, we got this. I know we can do it. But guys, there's a lot we need to do from the user experience angle. We can build a much more user-friendly environment while still providing that much-needed revenue to publishers. We just need to do a little bit better. Just a little bit. Just a little better. Just a little bit. And a little bit more. And a little bit more. We'll start with